Okay, going to assume that this is working this time. So, quick live, we're just going to talk about how to play short notes like this. When I started playing, this was a bit of a mystery for me. I was very much playing long notes all the time. But then I'd hear people like Scott Devine from Scott's Bass Lessons, or Joe Dart, or Pino Palladino, Anthony Jackson, playing all these little tiny short syncopated and staccato notes. Syncopated mean that it's not on the main beat. So 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 1 E and 1 E. No, so it's not on the pulse, if that's the pulse. It's got that offbeat feeling. With the short notes, there's 3 things that are happening at the same time. The biggest one is in your plucking hand. So make sure you can see. What you want to do is, if we're plucking on the A string, we want to stop it with our other finger. So, but you want to do this quick. Just realised the TV's on in the background. Just like that. The second thing we want to be thinking about is our fretting hand and how are we muting the strings. So what I'm doing there is I'm just lifting up the other 3 fingers and I'm not fretting. I'm just... It's one of those things, if I think about it, I can't do it. And sometimes you'll also need to lift off. So if we can get the angle on that. So if we're playing a D, now I find this way the least effective because you can hear there's extra string noise. So what I find you need to do is use a combination of all 3 depending on the riff or the lick or the run you're trying to do. Now, for a long time, I thought this was it. And I still was a bit unsure as to why it didn't sound as tight as other people. And that's when I realized actually that the position on the hand is really important as well in comparison to the pickup. So I like to play in this front section. I like the tone. Ooh, some inception happening on the pick guard. I can see myself. Now, it's lovely warm tone here, but we want that front edge of the note, the attack of the note, the first sound you hear to be a lot sharper and faster so that the note itself feels shorter. So if it comes in quick and goes quick, it will feel shorter than if it comes in slowly, it blooms in like this. So what we're going to do is play closer to the bridge. Now, Jaco Pastorius is very famous for playing back here on the jazz bass. I don't think you need to go that much further, just a little bit. Can you hear the tonal difference? You might not be able to because I'm just playing through an amp into an iPhone microphone. But back here, there's a lot more tension on the string. So you can end up in fact, this string here, your finished string on this bass, it's tuned to a G. This is going to give you the tightest sound. So when people are doing octaves, like so I'd recommend you practice playing your short notes, using those 3 techniques, resting your other finger onto the string, using your other fingers to mute, and lifting up, taking the pressure off on this string at first, for 2 reasons. It will give you the sound that you want quicker, but also makes you practice muting. I don't know if you would hear it, but there's a little bit of like background noise. And that's because I wasn't muting this. I use a muting system on my plucking hand where I lay my thumb across, and sometimes if I'm being lazy, it lifts up like that. So this note kind of just rumbles in the background. So doing it on your tightest string, your finished string, whatever you're tuned to, is also going to help you practice vital muting. Some people do this. Some people do this. See that? They'll use their fingers that they're not. I don't know how to play like that. And other people will just mute there and maybe come to here. I like this method. Mainly because sometimes I play a 5 string and I find that really helps with the low B. So, quick recap. What you want to do is rest your other finger on the string you want to deaden. You want to use your other fingers on your plucking hand to assist in deadening. And on occasions, you also want to be able to lift up. Those 3 techniques together will give you those short little notes that you want. And of course, playing a little bit further back so you get the tension. Cool. Enjoy practicing. Take care. Peace.